You're listening to the Online Entrepreneur Experience with Jarrett Jenny and John Olson, aka Cheers.
With Jarrett Jenny, John Olson, aka Cheers, baby. Notice anything different, man?
Yeah, your scenery's changed. You got a plant.
Yeah. Yeah, I changed my office. I actually am sitting on an exercise ball, getting my core workout, old ass me, 37 coming up on the 12th.
You got to watch yourself. I see you got like a stair stepper or something over there too.
What an elliptical, man.
I hate those things. You know what I call those? Knee wreckers. I hate ellipticals.
That one's actually like really good because it's like, I don't know, it was like $2,800, but it just moves right with you. You can't even like really screw up on it. Unless if you're like hammered or something, then you might go over the handlebars.
Oh. Yeah, no, I hate the treadmill too, but those things I absolutely hated. When I was competing and racing and in cross country and stuff, if we got injured, we had to start in the pool because there's zero resistance and zero pressure on your joints, and then they'd move us to one of those, and I was like, I hate this. I want to go outside.
Yeah. But, so what do we got going today? Is this going to be the best video they ever watch, or what?
I think so. I was thinking about how desperation breeds necessity. That's what I was thinking.
Heck yeah.
And I knew you had a really good one on how you got started in your online business and what you had to do and sacrifice to be able to get in.
Well, yeah, I was laid off. So I went from $1,875 a week down to like maybe $400 a week.
Yeah.
So my bills didn't stop, so I was scraping by. Every year I'd burn through my entire savings just to make it to the next season.
Yeah.
Well, I hit pretty much rock bottom. I sold my 70-inch TV and on Facebook Marketplace. Sold it for way cheap. I sold it for the price of the course pretty much, which is $400.
Yeah.
And I bought in, and I was like, best thing I ever did. Now I can buy a TV every day of the week and never worry about it. But I don't have a TV, or I have a TV, but I don't watch it. I'll put it that way. Unless if I'm watching The Secret.
Yeah.
You can see that.
That's a good one. No, I bought a TV because I got it as payment, not the TV, but I worked on this guy's car and got it prepped for paint for him. Like it was what was it? A Triumph Spitfire. So like a little tiny British thing. And he gave me a $500 gift card to Menards and a $500 gift card to Target. Well, the Menards one, I had just bought this house and I was like, that's perfect. So I bought paint and some other stuff. And then the Target one, I was like, I don't really shop at Target. Like, what am I going to buy? And I was like, I don't have a TV for my place. So I bought like a 55-inch TV with it. And I haven't even turned it on in like a year and a half. Like it's up in my bedroom and I just laugh every night when I go to bed because I'm like, I haven't even used this thing. Like I just.
Yeah. Probably sell it for, well, nowadays you can't sell TVs for nothing. You can get a 70-inch for what, $400 at Walmart.
Yeah.
So
no,
that's how technology changes, but heck yeah.
Yeah.
So you got anything about adversities or?
Well, I think, sometimes I was just thinking about this the other day, and it's like if you don't have to do something, like if it's not a necessity, because let's say you have a job and you hate your job, but it pays your bills, a lot of times then you're never going to change because you don't necessarily need to. Like, yeah, you might be miserable or you might, not like your job. And it's like, it's still work. Like you're not going to wake up and everything's going to be sunshine and rainbows and butterflies and unicorns are going to poop out rainbows. I mean, that's not how it works. It's still a job, but you should enjoy what you're doing. Like life is too short. And if you're miserable, but your bills are still being paid, you might never break out of that cycle because everything's fine. Everything's covered. Sometimes I think people need, I think sometimes the most success people have is when shit goes sideways. They get laid off, they lose their job, they get injured so they can't work. And then they have to make a change because it's either that or starve to death or get evicted,
Yep. There's a word for that. It's called the comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a train going by. You guys can probably hear that. But comfort zone is just a dangerous place to hang out. If you're not constantly growing and thinking of ideas how to improve your life is never going to improve.
No.
So it's like, and it's one step forward. These, people want instant results. That's where they're like, if I quit my job and I start this business, well, then they start backpedaling because they hit the terror barrier. Because they're like, it might take me a year and a half before I'm actually comfortable.
Yeah.
Because they want to get back to the comfort zone as fast as possible.
Yeah.
No, I'll just stay here.
Yep.
And then they start making up stuff in their head, which is called your paradigm. And that holds you in your exact place where you are. I don't want to get too much into the paradigm because I'll confuse everybody. But
no, that makes sense though. Yeah, it goes back to your mindset. And like a perfect example for me, and this isn't necessarily a necessity, but it's similar, is when I'm trying to think, 13 years old, I tested for my junior black belt, right? And I did not prepare well enough at all. Like I passed the test, but it was like, I remember being 13 and it was the longest, most stressful day I'd ever had my entire life. So you get there and all the master instructors are at a head table in suits and ties, and it's a lot of material. It's a long day. The test goes from about 7 a.m. in the morning to about 7 at night. It's like a 12-hour, there's a written, there's a physical, there's a curriculum. You have to spar somebody. And I wasn't ready, like at all. And I passed, but they just tore me apart. And then I told myself, I was like, you know what? I am never going to do that again. And I passed, but I had to retest on a bunch of parts of the test. And I was like, I'm not going through that again. So then a couple of years later, I tested for my adult black belt. When I was 15, you can get your adult. And then when I was 22, I tested for my second degree. And I studied so much that I was like physically sick of the material. I was like, oh my God, I just want to get this over with. I went through my test and I absolutely crushed everything on my test. Straight A's, didn't have to redo anything. But it was because I had failed so miserably before that I was like, I'm not making that mistake again.
absolutely. You don't want to feel that that adversity again.
Yeah.
Because it's pain, man. Pain is the number one motivator in the entire world. That doesn't need a language.
Right.
You don't have to be able to speak their language to submit pain to somebody.
No.
It's the universal language of get your ass moving or stop doing something.
Yeah.
And that's,
I often think too, like if I would have just had a mediocre test and it would have went like, okay, like not great, but okay, I probably never would have had a great test after that because I would have just stayed there. I would have been like, well, I did it with this amount of work before, so I think I can do it again. And I would have passed, but I would have just done okay.
yeah, doing just bare minimum.
Yeah.
The bare minimum will never make you level up.
No.
That's where it's huge. There's life lessons that, people are like, why is this happening to me? God must hate me.
Yeah.
You know what? The the hardest tests are for the strongest people.
Yeah.
That's how it is. And that's how it'll always be. So if you're struggling through life, congratulations.
Yeah.
You're something special.
It's like when I quit my job. I mean, I quit my job and I left my boss's office and I'd been there for 7 years and I like, this is mine now, like this is for my YouTube channel and my online business. I kind of encompass the two things together because YouTube is online. But I remember leaving his office and I was just like, I was sweating. I was like, I just did that, and I have a buddy. I went to the Vikings game up in Minneapolis this weekend and he just put in his notice at his job because he took a promotion. And he's like, yeah, it's definitely bittersweet. Like, I'm going to miss a lot of people, but he's like, I outgrew my position there. And there was no way that they were going to be able to match what this company did. But he goes, it kind of sucks a little bit, but, and I said, but that's growth. Growth is always going to be uncomfortable, even if it's good, like he chose to leave his job. He didn't get fired and he still was having those uncomfortable feelings, but it's because he's pushing his comfort zone and he's growing.
Absolutely.
You can pick two things.
Every time.
Yeah. You can pick two things. You can stay comfortable forever and never have to deal with that, or you can grow and you're going to deal with it. But if you're comfortable, you're always going to stay here. If you choose to be uncomfortable, sometimes you're going to slowly start to work your way up that ladder.
Yep. I think that was a great ending to that. I don't really have any better explanation than that. Baby steps, baby.
Yeah, we have to. And I think this was good. And what, we'll be back Friday?
Yep.
All right, man.
Friday afternoon. All right, brother.
All right,
Well,
you want to do the honors?
SWR. Jarrett, Jenny, John Olson, aka Cheers. See you next Friday.
See you, buddy.
Thanks for tuning into the Online Entrepreneur Experience. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes that we're releasing and any of these amazing pieces of value that we're giving out. And if you could take the time out of your day and leave us a review, we'd be so grateful. We look forward to seeing you on that next episode.